Okay. Alright, hi guys, here we are again. It's our second video that we're recording. As you can see, hopefully, once we edit all this together, the lighting is a little bit better because we invested in 2 light boxes, so we're kind of hoping that it shows a little bit better. Anyway, today's video is just about the N64, one of my favourite consoles that I purchased myself back in 1997. It was released here actually in Europe, in parts of Europe in 97 as well. So, I have 2 versions that I want to show you today. The first version I'm going to show you is actually the PAL version, the version that I actually bought back in 1998, I should say. This is the version I bought in 1998, and I'm just going to show you the console itself. Ooh. This is the 007 GoldenEye edition. So basically, this edition of the console was it was the standard grey console with the light grey controller, but it just included the actual 007 game in the box. Now, as you can see here, guys, the box is a bit tatty, but I'm just going to show it to you anyway, the different corners of the box and stuff. Like if you can see back here, I ripped it years ago, so you can see it's marked. But I think it's still aging quite well. There's that part of the box. Another part there, and did I show you this side and this side again? As I say, guys, I'm going to show you the back again. Look, that's it. I'm going to unbox the other console I have here because it's easier. It's a bit awkward getting it out of this protective cover. Right, so that's the version of the console I bought. Now, you will remember when the N64 released back in '96, 2 games were released initially with it, and that was Super Mario 64 and Pilotwings 64. Now, when I went to buy my console in '98, I couldn't buy Super Mario 64, so the game I bought with the console was Zelda Ocarina of Time. I really don't have to say much about this game because you only have to enter Zelda Ocarina of Time N64 on YouTube. You'll get loads and loads of videos about, am I right, about this game, how good it is, and how many more times they're going to, you know, mention it or re-release it. Nintendo released this on nearly every system they brought out after this.
If you have a top, I suppose a top 5, I suppose that would be in the top.
It would be, because if you think about this is definitely one of Nintendo's top games, because it came out in the N64, and in 2002, I think, when the Wind Waker game was released for the Nintendo GameCube, you got the special edition. You could have bought the special edition Wind Waker game with the actual bonus disc of this game plus the Master Quest game. So it was 2 games. So this was released with the GameCube. Then they released the Wii, you had the Virtual Consoles, and they re-released the game again.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to harp on, they released the Wii U, they released the game again. Again, the Switch now at the moment is out, and they've re-released the game again. This game is never ever going to go away, because it is such a fantastic game. But if you want the ultimate experience and enjoyment of this game, I would suggest getting an N64 and playing it on the original hardware. Now, I'm going to do an unboxing. This is primarily what the video is about. It's an unboxing. So I'm going to do an unboxing as it's easier. I'm going to unbox a Japanese N64 console. Now, you can see the box is a lot different. Plus, which I found kind of strange when we bought this, look at the back of this box. There is no back. It's styrofoam.
There was never a
There was never a back on them. That's the way they released them. Styrofoam. Basically, I'm going to unbox it this without the camera. So basically, this is it. It was just this cover over it. There you go. So you have your box there. There to the side. And this is what you would have got in the Japanese console. Now, the bags, unfortunately, aren't, or some of them are original, some of them aren't. But you got all your documentation with all, you know, how to set it up and all that. You got I love this controller. This controller is actually quite controversial, which I never actually could figure out why. Because I remember getting this controller and I have to look, I don't see what I can get to all the buttons, and I have big hands. But my hands have always been this way. When I bought this, I was a lot younger.
Well, my hands are smaller, and I've never had an issue with that controller.
Yeah, reaching. So look, it is controversial, but I mean, I love this controller, and it's fantastic when you're playing original N64 games. I love them. Now, there's the power supply. Now, if you do import a Japanese console, it's going to come with is it 100? I think it's 110 voltage.
110.
Where 230 is it? 230 volts here. So you couldn't plug this in. Basically, you'd have to use a step-down converter. But to be perfectly honest, just go in and buy a PAL power supply. It'll plug into the back of the console anyway, and you won't have to use any step-down converter. So there's the power supply, which does go in here. You also would have got this, which every Nintendo console got. It's actually just a standard composite cable. And years ago on a CRT TV, it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
But nowadays on modern TVs, because very few, if any, at this stage, have any way of inputting these to, let's say, composite connections on the TV. It's all HDMI connections. Now, you could use an upscaler, I suppose, with this. You could buy those cheap upscalers to put it on the TV, but the colours all would bleed into each other, and they're just no good.
It doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. You look up, there's plenty of videos, and I'm going to put a link to one of our videos where we show side by side a console that we bought, an N64 console that we bought, and modded to the RGB mod. And the reason why I mentioned the RGB mod is it actually outputs at a higher rate, better picture. No, this is not the original bag, but I want to show you the actual console itself. It's a fabulous console. Now, originally, instead of being Nintendo 64, it should basically have said Ultra 64. Because I heard about this console on a TV show when I was a kid called Bad Influence. And it was an English TV show in the United Kingdom. Fantastic console game reviews. But it was meant to be the Ultra 64. And I have seen people online, and you can actually buy the badges, because they've actually reproduced these Ultra 64 badges.
Have they?
So you could remove this badge and put an Ultra 64 badge on there. But I wouldn't, because the console didn't come out with that badge. This is the final badge. I would never desecrate the console for that. Now, when you are buying an N64, I just want to warn people sometimes, when you are buying an N64, it just comes with a standard connection in here. You can buy the upgrade of RAM, which I think does it increase it to 4 meg?
Yeah.
Which makes certain games do need, like Ocarina of Time, doesn't need it, but Majora's Mask, which is the next game for Zelda, does need the upgraded RAM to be able to play. Just remember, keep that in mind if you do buy those games.
It's the expansion pack, isn't it?
The expansion pack, yes. I actually couldn't think of the name. Yeah, the expansion pack. Right, so
you can buy them online, can't you?
Oh, you can, but they're... Do you know something?
I think they're getting very dear though.
You could buy an N64, and I have seen them. I've seen them on adverts for €60. Just the actual N64. But if you to buy the expansion pack, you could pay between 80 and 120. Yeah. And they're only going to keep going up. And I don't really want to plug the prices to put them up more and more. But I'm being truthful. This is what's happening. So, the N64, this is the Japanese N64 as I've said. And under here is the expansion port, which we didn't utilise in Europe, or they didn't utilise in the US. But in Japan, there was an actual add-on for this. And there probably was other add-ons that I don't know about, or I haven't heard about. But it was called the N64DD, or the N64 disk drive. So it would allow you to plug this onto the base of the console here and allow you to play disc-based games in this console. And again, disc-based games had a lot more memory, they were bigger games, but it was only released for a short time in Japan. Basically what happened was, you know, you bought it and whatnot, but it flopped. It flopped. There was only a few games came out.
I was about to ask you, do we have any idea of how many disc-based games came out?
I actually don't. Yeah. I think it was maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong. 10 or 11 games maybe, or something like that. But the one other thing you could do with this, which I think is amazing, for back in 96, 97, well 98 I suppose, 99, you could get online with this console. And you could upload tracks that you did for the F-Zero add-on game that was made for this, for the disc drive. You could actually upload tracks and stuff. You could go online.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, because back in the 90s, you couldn't go online. Well, you could, like, but with a console it was unusual. Anyway, that's the console, right? We leave that here at the front for you guys, because there we go. I'm just going to move this out of our way. Now, I'm going to show you a few games that we actually have picked up over time. There's only a few. So, the Japanese games that we picked up. Now, we have a load of them, but I just want to show you the difference in the boxes. I just think the artwork on this box is fabulous.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. It's completely different to the PAL release. This is the PAL release here, so you can see. Look. completely different.
See, if you didn't have Zelda on the box, okay, if you just didn't have Zelda.
You see here, you can see Epona and you can see Zelda. Or sorry, you can see Link. Do you know what I mean? On this, yeah, well, it says Zelda a lot.
Yeah, but if you didn't have them, you're thinking they're two entirely separate console games.
No, I don't know. No, I wouldn't think so. I just think they look fantastic.
Oh, they do.
They look fantastic. Well, I like the artwork on this one, but the book on this one, the PAL one, is beautiful. It's a fabulous. It's all coloured illustration. It's fabulous. Right, so that's those there, right? But then another game that I love, and I think people should. I apologize now, guys, because they're a bit dusty because they've been put away for a while. Is Diddy Kong Racing. I know it's controversial. Everyone will say Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart, don't get me wrong. But Diddy Kong Racing, it's definitely underrated, isn't it?
I think so.
There's hours and hours of fun to be had on this, and the story mode in this is good, but the adventure mode, you know, when you're against people and stuff, is fantastic as well. Again, you can see they're completely different, exact same game. So if you do import the Japanese console here, there's no issue playing this game because there's no language barrier really.
I think though where
you need to know a bit of Japanese for this game because this is all heavily Japanese text.
I think where N64 did very well was in your fun racing game sim.
Oh yeah.
Not now the likes of Ridge Racer and what have you and all that, which is also very good, but your Diddy Kong, your Mario Kart, your Beetle Racing, all those fun racing games they did very well.
Well, I'm glad now you mentioned actually, because I was kind of torn between bringing out Mario Kart and showing you that game, which we do have, showing you the Mario Kart game or showing you another different racing game to Diddy Kong. And do you know what? I had to bring out this game because I love this game.
Yeah.
You love this game.
I love this game.
This is Beetle Adventure Racing, and I don't care what anyone says. This game is so underrated as a racing game. It's fantastic, and I'm being biased because I've had 3 VW Beetle vehicles.
Yeah.
At present, we have
including a yellow.
Yeah, including a bright yellow one. I had this exact colour Beetle, and I loved it. Everyone knew I was coming when I was driving that car because you'd be spotted a mile off. But like we still have our Beetle at the moment, and we'd buy another one only for they discontinued making them. But anyway, this game is fantastic. The tracks, the handling, there's hours and hours of fun of this racing game. Ridge Racer is fantastic. Mario Kart is fantastic. Actually, another game that we were on about as well was what's Star Wars Pod Racer. Pod Racer. Oh my god! And actually, we actually bought that game again on the Switch.
We just bought it recently.
We just bought it for the Switch. They re-released it on the Switch.
No.
With Bounty Hunter, Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Was it Star Wars Commando Bounty Hunter?
Or was it Commando or something? But
yeah.
The only reason why we bought it was actually for the Pod Racer.
But I think they took the N64
actually,
game.
I'm just going to get that game and show it to you. It's actually down where the Switch games are. I'm going to get... Kieran now is going to hand me that game there to show it to you. Anyway, I'll continue on while he's getting that game. Now, another game I do think would be fantastic is... Oh, brilliant. I love Star Wars. I mean, who doesn't, to be perfectly honest? The films are great. But the games are even better. Now, oh yes, here we go, 1 second now. Right, this game. We actually only purchased this game, what day was it? Thursday. There you go. On the Switch. A re-release of the N64 Pod Racer game. And it comes, and then the other game that's with it is Star Wars Republic Commando. But I mean, I put this on Thursday evening. I think I was about 2 hours playing it. Didn't change over. Stuck with Pod Racer because it is a fantastic game to play. I know we're going off topic, but I'm just mentioning that Nintendo always seem to re-release certain games with newer systems. And Pod Racer, I think this has been the first time it's been re-released physically. It is. It's a physical because I mean, to me, it's a physical cartridge or game, so it's physically been re-released. Anyway, this is Star Wars. This is a brilliant game. I mean, you gotta think we had a big, massive leap from playing Super Nintendo games, which were 2D, to full-on 3D environmental games. And this, I love the first level in this. It's on Hoth, and you get to take down the big walkers. So you have to fire a tow cable and circle around them, and you take them down. It's fantastic. I mean, look up on YouTube. You'll see plenty of videos on this game as well. This is definitely one that's definitely worth buying, and it's not expensive. Now, I have to mention the 2 launch titles, which I didn't get when I bought my N64, but I have them here now to show you. The first one is
Pile of Wings.
Pile of Wings 64. What can I say about Pilot Wings 64? Crikey, I can't believe how dusty the boxes are from big. These are actually in storage in a box, and they're still dusty. I don't get it. But anyway, Pilot Wings 64, again a fantastic flying sim. You fly in a hang glider, you put on a jetpack, you've got this little kind of helipad type thing as well, and basically you run through courses. You could be flying through hoops, you could be doing somersaults, loop-de-loops, taking photographs. There's loads of different things on this game.
I forgot about that. Actually, you have to take photos as well.
Which is the one level, and I've had this games for over 20 years, and you know when you're in the glider and you're taking photographs of the bloody
whatever.
It's the oil thing with the flame burn. You put photos of it. I can never catch the wind tunnels enough. I'm always crashing on that one level. All the rest, no problem. That one level always catches me out. Anyway, next game I have to mention, which really did send the N64 to new heights compared to the PlayStation, because again, the PlayStation was a 32-bit system, whereas the N64 was a true 64-bit. Because I know the Jaguar was released, and we have the Jaguar, and I love the Jaguar, and it's described as 64-bit. I don't know. It's controversial.
There's a lot of controversy
there is.
That 64.
Now, I'd love for someone to bring out games now to truly show the potential of the Atari Jaguar, because it is a fantastic console, and Doom, the first Doom, is brilliant on that system, except for they didn't put the music into it, which I hate. Anyway, back off topic again. Super Mario World or Super Mario 64, fantastic game, first true 3D game that really made people stand up and look and kind of go, wow, this is something new and different. So I just wanted to show that game, guys. This game again, hours and hours of fun. It is a massive world like Zelda. It is an enjoyable game.
But that game really blew people's minds when they first saw it, though, didn't it?
Oh, it did, because I remember I actually had subscribed to Nintendo and the Nintendo magazine and blah blah blah, and I remember them sending me out a VHS tape, and basically it kind of demoed Super Mario, it demoed a bit of Pilot Wings, there was a couple of other clips and stuff, and I kind of wish to this day I still had that here. I think it's in my parents' attic at home, so I think it's actually there. But I must root it out someday and record it and put it up on YouTube and show you, because I did actually have that. Anyway, guys, the one last thing I want to talk about, there's two things actually I want to talk about. Okay, you buy the console. I'm not going to say that these games are cheap now, because they're not. These games are getting up in price. Even buying the loose carts nowadays, they're going up in price. A few months ago, about 8 months ago, 9 months ago, we bought this. Now, I don't condone, in one bit, I don't condone piracy. But I mean, these systems are so old now, you know, it's hard to get some games for them. This is your only option. This one is called an ED64, which is actually the EverDrive 64. I think it's an EverDrive 64 ripoff. It is. So basically, I'm going to open it here now, guys. Now this set us back €80 on adverts, which is a website here in Ireland.
What is the EverDrive retailing at? It's up 200, 200,
It's over I think about 230. I could be wrong. You can tell me about what the correct price is online. I haven't checked it, no way. So basically, what this is just a cartridge with all the cantankerous little chips that an ordinary game would have in it. But on the side of it here, I'll just show you guys. I'm going to get it out. Is a micro SD card, right? So you go online. You download all the game ROMs. I'm not going to tell you where they are, but you will find them. They're very easy to find. Get all the games you want. Lob them onto your SD or your micro SD card. Pop back in here. If I get my no nails. See, when you cut your nails, you can't bloody get things back in. Right. EverDrive 64. Now, Norton, NTSC or PAL. So you can flick between both. So you can put both ROMs on this and just flick this switch when you want to play the different games. And basically, lob it in. A menu will come up when you switch it on of all the different games. Select your game and it'll boot you right into the game. Now, to this point, all the games that we've tested on it, I haven't actually seen any game that doesn't work. But the only game which actually didn't get released because it was actually ported over onto the GameCube, which was Dinosaur Planet, which the ROM got leaked about a year ago. We put that on it. And that ran a bit slow, was a bit glitchy. Now, unless they improved the ROM. But look, you've got so many ROMs or games on this. it'll open up the whole N64 library for you if you do want to buy this.
Do
And
you
then-
think this is a good option? Let's say if people are thinking about buying an N64,
Well, I do think it would be a good option. Now,
if they've never played.
yeah, oh god,
you know,
yes. If you don't want to go away buying these games, which they are expensive, and I mean, you know, buy the console, buy this. But I wouldn't suggest buying this. I'm gonna say now straight out, I don't really suggest buying this version
Yeah.
of the EverDrive DD64. I'd actually go along, and I'm not plugging anyone in any way, but I would actually go along and buy the EverDrive 64. I think personally it'd be loud. It's worth it. I think they'd have better chips in it.
Yeah.
It works more. I think it works 110% more than what this would. Now, we've never had problems with this except for that game that wasn't released. But I think you're better off just going, pushing the boat out. If you're not interested in buying the games, invest in an EverDrive 64, a proper one. Now, the one other thing I do suggest, if you don't have these composite connections on your TV, but you want to output it, you can buy these cheap composite HDMI upscalers, which are really bad. I would suggest this. Now, we bought this a good while ago, and basically, this is the RAD 2X. Now, you're not buying this RAD 2X just for the N64.
No.
This is like 70 or 80 euros. I have to check the price again. You can put this on your Super Nintendo, which outputs as a HD modern TV. Like we have a 65-inch Samsung TV here, 4K TV, and the picture looks flawless for the Super Nintendo. Put the N64 on it, the picture does look good. It does improve the picture a bit. And again, put a GameCube onto it, again it makes the picture look that bit better. But for this to look way better, as in the ultimate kind of thing to do, is buy a modded N64, an RGB modded N64. Then you're going to output at a higher picture. You're going to get a way better picture.
Or you can buy the kit yourself, can't you?
Well, you can buy the Tim Worthington kit.
But there's a lot of sauce.
You see, it depends. Like in the US, they have their systems are different to ours. They're very easy to mod. Like on the back here, where you've got your composite connection in, right? On this side, it's on this side of the board. There's a small little chip you can buy. It costs about 11 or 12 euros to do the RGB mod. But the PAL consoles can't. You have to, unless it's a French version. The French versions you could mod with that little chip.
Oh, really?
Yes, there was a different variation in some of the French consoles. But the PAL ones, in general, the ones you get here in Ireland, you'll have to do the Tim Worthington mod. The mod itself costs 50 euros or 45 euros, including postage. It's an extremely... If you're not good at soldering, if you know someone that can solder, I should say, get them to do it for you if they're good at it. Alright? Anyway, look guys, I've harped on enough. I hope you enjoyed our little kind of rendition of the N64. It's definitely a system to look into if you're interested in retro consoles. Definitely a system worth buying. So look guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll actually talk to you in the next one, and have a great weekend and mind yourselves.